Saturday softball game day, but I have about 15 minutes before the game starts, so I thought I would pop on here because I am due a video for you. So first of all, thank you so much for the new subscribers. I so appreciate it so much. It's been awesome. Today's video is going to be my 19-month update on my hair. So holy moly, 19 months. Can you, I can't believe it. 19 months. I've did it. And so I thought I was going to dedicate this video to all the creepers that are watching these videos and that don't participate and that don't maybe think that they can do this. You can, but you have to actually really want to, and that's the difference. I think if you're a little half-ass on this, it's not going to work. I mean, you really do have to have an attitude of, I'm just doing this. And the best way to get an attitude of just doing it is to have some kind of a plan. And so I feel like that plan is based on why you would want to do this in the first place. So let's kind of spend a little time with ourselves and ask ourselves, why? Why are you watching these videos? What is it? Are you losing hair? Are you feeling older and you don't feel like your hair matches your face anymore? I don't know, money, time? What is it? Because based on what it is that's driving your curiosity in this is going to determine on what you can kind of have a skeleton-based plan for what's you need to have this plan. I guess I should say that, because there will be some doubt that rolls in, okay? No question. You're going to see a different hairstyle. But that happens in general. But it's definitely, you need to prepare for it. If it doesn't happen, great. But if you have a plan for it, then probably the chances of it won't happening. But when that wind of doubt comes rolling in, you're going to be a freaking palm tree, okay? You're going to handle that. You're going to take it and be like, oh, there's the doubt. Nope, I've got my plan. I want to save this much money. I want to save this much time. I want to put that time and money towards my grandchildren, or to a new hobby that I have, or a new attitude or perspective that I have. We are going to change that energy into something that's actually valuable to us, rather than something that's going to make us feel guilty or feel shaming. So let's think about that, dear creepers. And I shouldn't say creepers. Maybe they're just, what's a better word? Lurkers? Maybe that's a lurker. Are you a lurker? Hit the subscribe button. Okay, back to the 19 months. Okay, 19 months. The biggest thing I can see is, look at this bottom part is pretty much, it's pretty much done. I've got just a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm a little sweaty. We've been running around. We had a piano recital today, and now the car is just getting hotter and hotter. But it's like pretty much 19 months, and I have like maybe a few little inches, if even that. It has definitely gone past my ear. And so the big thing with that I wanted to talk, I know I keep saying that, but the main reason I wanted to show this is you can really see how that, for those that are new and that are just now watching, I did do two highlights and a low light. So I kind of noticed that I was getting these white streaks in. And so I mimicked it and had them do these highlights. You can kind of see where it's still a little yellow, but it's not as brassy as it was after I did. So I did two of these highlights, and then I did do a toning myself on it just to make it a little bit more white and less brassy. But I did a low light, and that's the big part. I wanted to see if I can get this more organized for us here. I should have brought my brush in. But you can see, maybe that's how that just ever so slightly allows it to flow in there without it being a stark demarcation line. Because if you are, I got a new subscriber, and they made a comment about like dark hair, and that's the thing. It's like if you just got a few little ones here and you're just going to let them grow out with the dark hair, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about people that literally have been like me. You've been coloring your hair for 20 years. And I mean, we're talking, it's a demarcation line. It isn't like one or two little hairs. It's like a full on line. And so when you do that low light, what it does is it just ever so slightly breaks up that line so that it isn't a straight, flat line. And I think, I mean, I'm happy with it. It's almost there. I'm not going to, I need a trim. I definitely need a trim. But it's pretty much, I turn around here. I mean, the back is almost completely done. If you can see this. Super white in the front. And then I got some super white behind my ear too, which I really like. It's really gonna be cool when it gets all done up here. So yeah, I just kind of followed this streak, kind of added to it. So this is the thing. I'm gonna be real. I'm not going to pretend like I didn't get some good cards on this. You know, the little money streaks are pretty killer and I do love them. However, just as such as in life, you just have to play the cards that you were dealt. And sometimes those cards suck ass, okay? But your creativity and your masterfulness of playing that is what makes the difference, okay? So that is what you need to focus on, is to spend that energy to look at what you have, and then let's be creative within those limitations that we have. So I've had a lot of comments where they're like, I am all white, I'm all dark, you know, so they're not happy with it's coming in. And like I've said it a few times, it is a bit like a box of chocolates. You don't really know what you're going to have. But if we go back to those goals, if your goal is just to try to get some better hair growth, which was one of my big ones, is I had so much thinning hair because I had so much white, and the white was what was getting burnt out from the dye. The dye would burn out the white right away, which left me very thin. Now it's not the case, but I can completely understand somebody that is like, it's all white, I have no dimension, which is another reason why I think it's good to if you are thinking about going gray, do it early so that you do get the dimension and you actually get to enjoy the rest of the changing. I have no doubt my dad was pretty much all white by the time he passed away, and so I'm sure that I will be that way as well. But in the meantime, I can have a little fun with the dimension that I do have. But of course the blower is going to start blowing. I'm going to get off here because the game's going to start soon. But I wanted to just pop on here to say that I know that everybody's cards are not the same. But that is where, you know, our creativity is really going to come into play, and have fun with it. And if you've been in the same rut, listen, I know it's hard to dig in there and get that creativity to spark up, but go hang out with some kids. Go do something that you haven't done. Do something that fills that fun in yourself. And then once you get into that fun flow, then you'll start to see the creativity come through. But you can do some low lights, some highlights, and pop it in, and not dunk your whole head in that dye, and still get a little bit of funk or whatever your new flair is going to be. You can do that with the elements that are available to you, but not having to dye the whole hair. So I just don't want people to think, oh, you know, I just kind of let it, because honestly, I didn't even know that I could see the white, but I didn't know how it was going to roll out until it was probably, I want to say, a good 6 months do you really see your streaks. And that's where I wouldn't do the low light or definitely not the low light. I would go ahead and do the highlight right away. But the low light you have to be careful with, because you do, I mean, my guy, he did such a great job because he really matched the low light to go in with my natural low lights where there was chunk. And so you really don't even see that. When you're going from the top down, you don't even see the difference. So you do want a little bit of that growth out before you do the low light to break that up. But hey, I mean, you finally get to that point where it's like everybody else is looking at you. You don't really see your hair unless you're, you know, I guess staring in the mirror all the time. But you know, you get to a point where you can just kind of get into like the change of it, and you're not really even noticing it bother other people. And if it is, just laugh it off and be like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what's going on there, but I'm having a good time. So what are the takeaways? Be ready. Are you really, really, really ready to do this? Because if you're not ready, it isn't gonna happen. I'm just gonna tell you right now, because I mean, am I right? We can talk ourselves in and out of anything we want. Okay. We are better at manipulating ourselves than anybody else. Okay. So if you don't have a plan and you don't have an intention, then you're not going to be successful, and you will go into it already not liking it. Okay. There's that, oh, it's a great story about the blind lady, and she goes into this, new apartment, and she says she loves it and everything, and they're like, wow, how do you, she's like, I already made up my mind before I got there. I don't know, I think I maybe butchered the story, but that's the part, is that you got to look at it with a positive attitude going into it, and kind of be like, oh, well, if I am white, I can just pop in some black. If I'm all black, I'll pop in some white. I can do a different style. I can do a different hair, whatever it is. Have some kind of a thought process, even if it's a skeleton frame, around what you're going to do when that wind of doubt rolls in every once in a while. And so you can just kind of and move on. All right. So let me know in the comments what you think. I would appreciate it. That would be amazing. And I'm going to before my kid gets mad at me and wonders where the hell I am, I'm going to get back and get my chair and get in there and root for some softball. All right. So go Panthers, and you guys have a great rest of your Saturday.